Hello there! Today I thought I would do the TMI tag. I haven't been tagged in this, but I saw it on Sophie at Portal in the Pages channel and I quite enjoyed the video. It was really interesting to watch. I'm sure there was a TMI tag that went round a while ago, but I can't remember it being these questions. Either way, I thought it would be fun to give it a go and let you guys know a bit more about the me outside of BookTube. There are quite a lot of questions, so I'm going to be kind of whizzing through them because I don't want this to be an epically long video. And as always with tag videos, I'm going to be looking down at the questions. So, number one is, what are you wearing? Let me stand up a little and show you. So I've got a brown cardigan on, a brown flowery t-shirt and some jeans. I, in case you didn't realise, love brown. I also love orange and yellows. Earthy colours are my thing, and brown is a personal favourite, much to my boyfriend's upset because he hates brown. He thinks it's so bland. But hey, you can't have it all. Number two, ever been in love? Yes, I'm currently in love, which is really lovely. Yeah, it's really special and nice, and I finally feel like I found someone who I'm actually content to spend the rest of my life with, not to get too sappy, but yeah, it's just wonderful. I was in love when I was a teenager. I think most of us have had a big heartbreak, haven't we? But finally, after a string of relationships that I think I probably got into on the back of that, I have found the love of my life, so, you know, it's all good. Number three, ever had a terrible breakup, which kind of goes back to the whole heartbreak thing that I was speaking about. And I'm not one for terrible breakups. I don't think I'm generally one that kind of hates people when I break up with them. I always try and keep it amicable. That said, I'm not actually friends with any of my exes. I think I'm quite logical in the fact that I understand that it doesn't work, and even if you manage to stay amicable and be friends and meet up and carry on being friendly with each other, when one of you gets a partner, it never lasts. You can't keep being best of friends, you know, it's not fair on anyone involved. So while I haven't had awful breakups and I've always managed to kind of keep some level of respect and love for people, I generally do just kind of, I'm quite emotionally cold in the fact that I just draw a line and I move forward. I don't dwell, I don't keep on pulling it up and arguing. Once it's done for me. So, you know, there's worse breakups. I mean, I think it's worse if you drag it out and keep arguing, and I just don't have time for that, so yeah. Number four, how tall are you? To be honest, it's always been guesswork. I've never actually measured myself, purely because I'm lazy. I think the last time I measured myself was in school and I was 5'7". I was about 14 then, so I think I'm about 5'8". I might be about 5'8". I'm quite tall for a girl. Anyway, number five, how much do you weigh? Whoa, getting into the personal stuff now. Again, I don't overly know. I think it's like 10 stone. I have put on a lot of weight recently. It kind of depresses me, my weight, but I kind of try not to weigh myself too often. I do have a belief that you are a set weight, like everyone has the weight that they're meant to be, and if you have to struggle all the time to kind of lower that weight, you're obviously meant to be at that weight. That's your natural stable level. Obviously, I think if you're really overweight, it can become a problem, but for me, I know I'm not overweight. I'm larger than I'd like to be. I mean, I was very lucky in the fact that I'm tall and I was really skinny, and until I was about 18, 19, I was like less than 8 stone. I think your body just changes as you grow older. You do become larger. You can't be stick thin all the time, although some women are, but let's not talk about them. So yeah, I'm kind of at the place with my body. I'm not going to fight it, but that's the way I am at the moment. Any tattoos? I have one which I will show you. It's on my hip. I don't know if I'm going to be able to balance here. Oh, it's just there, and in case you can see, it says just be. I got it when I was about 18 and I was going through a bit of a hard time. I actually kind of ran away from home. I went to live with my nan for a while, and it was a really formative time in my life, and to get past the bad stuff that I was going through, I got into spiritualism and I read things like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I became quite highly spiritual and believing in Buddhism and things like that, which aren't necessarily relevant to me now, but I'm really glad I've got this tattoo. Just be is kind of it's difficult to explain for people who haven't sort of delved into Buddhism and stuff like that. But it's basically just to remind you to just exist. You don't need to fight all the time. You don't need to try to be something. You just need to be. You just need to exist. It's as simple as that. So it kind of helps me, like I get in my head a lot. I'm an anxious person anyway, and I do tend to worry a lot, so it's helpful to have that there just to remind me that I don't need to fight against myself or try to prove something to anyone. I just need to be. So yeah, I'm quite happy to have that there. I think my mum often sort of says to me, oh, do you regret that tattoo now? I honestly don't. I think I'm always going to be happy with it. Any piercings? I used to be a bit of a piercing fiend. I used to have 3 lip piercings. I've got my nose pierced. I still have my nose pierced. I had my tongue pierced, but it fell out and I never bothered to put it back in. I've got my ears pierced, and I've also got the cartilage on my ear pierced. Yeah, the other ones I could probably still squeeze or at least pop through my lip rings, but I don't really want to anymore. I think I'm a bit old for that now. Number 8, OTP. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is, so let's move on. Number 9, favourite show. It depends what I'm watching at what time. At the moment I'm watching the 4th series of Transparent and really loving it. I think it's just fantastic and it really gets my creative juices flowing, and it just makes me feel inspired and excited and alive. It's so good. Also watching Jane the Virgin on Netflix, because that is like the best show that ever happened. Girls is also a favourite. Gilmore Girls as well. I finished watching that a few months ago. It depends what I'm watching at the time really. At the moment, as I say, Transparent is rocking my world. Number 10, favourite bands. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a music person. Like, I listen to music, but I don't really have favourites, and I don't really get that carried away with it. I like Florence and the Machine. I think that's probably the only band I really listen to. Oh, Lumineers I listen to. I wouldn't say I've got any particular favourites of note, to be honest. Number 11, Something You Miss. Oh, deep. I don't know actually. Childhood, probably, being young. I hate being an adult. I'm on the wrong side of 20 now, so I often have crises about that. Number 12, favourite song. Again, it varies. It depends what I'm listening to at the time. At the moment, I've got Taylor Swift's new album, and there's a song on that I really like. Let me just see. Can't remember what it's called. Call It What You Want. I really like that, but again, I wouldn't say it's a favourite. It's something I'm enjoying at the moment. Music and me just don't really... I don't often have time to get really excited about music. Number 13, how old are you? Talking of being on the wrong side of 20, I am 26. I had to think about that then. I'm 26. Oh, painful. Number 14, zodiac sign is Leo, which kind of suits me and kind of doesn't, because obviously Leos are meant to be quite feisty and aggressive. I am like a wallflower. That said, I have never actually taken any messing from anyone. I'm really quiet, I'm really introverted, and I'm really subdued. But if I don't believe in something, or if someone is doing something that makes me uncomfortable, I've never been afraid to confront that. So in a way, me, but I'm probably a not very likely Leo, to be honest. Number 15, quality you look for in a partner. This is a weird one. I've always been quite open. I don't think it helps to narrow things down. I've always said love is love. It doesn't, you can't put a label on it. You can't say, oh, I only fall in love with this sex, or I only fall in love with this kind of person. I think it, you know, if you fall in love, you fall in love. But I have, as I said, just found a guy that is perfect for me. And something that I've noticed in him that wasn't in my other partners is the fact that he too is introverted. He loves just walking around towns and going in bookshops with me for hours on end, whereas the other partners that I've been with have not been so introverted and been quite extroverted people, which I think can work for some people, but I think finding someone who's kind of similar and likes similar things to you can be really useful. I don't think opposites attract is always a good idea. Number 16, favourite quote. Oh, I don't know, I couldn't tell you. I used to really be into quotes when I was a teenager. I used to literally just copy out all my favourite quotes. I've got a big folder of them actually still. But yeah, at the moment, not into any. Number 17, favourite actor. Someone I really love is Carey Mulligan. I think she's just gorgeous. She in Never Let Me Go is just so stunning. Like, I love her hair, I love her image, I just think she's gorgeous. I also find that she does really interesting films and things like that. Also we have to mention Ben Whishaw, because he's just like perfection in a man. Like, oh, come on. And everything he does I really love. He does kind of more indie stuff, and I've watched an interview with him before where he has said that, you know, he will never do something that he's not excited about, that doesn't get his blood pumping, and I think that very much comes across in his work, so he's one that I really look out for as well. Number 18, favourite colour. Sophie said this actually, and I'm exactly the same. White. I adore white. As I say, in my clothes I love earthy colours, but of an all-time favourite colour, I like white. Like, I know some people say it's a shade, not a colour, but come on, it counts as a colour. Yeah, if I get the choice to choose something like a laptop or, I don't know, whatever, headphones in any colour, I will always choose white. I just think white things look good. Then number 19, loud music or soft. Definitely soft. Because I generally have my music on in the background, I rarely listen to music just listening to music. So it's nice to just have it soft, otherwise headaches. Number 20, where do you go when you're sad? I tend to, at the moment, go for walks. We've got a river that runs through our town, and there's a really lovely river walk, and that leads into town, and then I walk back by the road, and I do that every day, really. It is really lovely, and I tend to do that whenever I start feeling a bit blah, you know, when you just feel not right and something's bothering you but you can't say what it is. I often find that it's because I haven't gone out. I'm rarely that sad anymore, other than that feeling of feeling claustrophobic and confined and a bit lonely and anxious and sort of doubting myself and the life I've chosen. I would just go for a walk there and it just cheers me up. It takes this weight off my shoulders and it makes me happy again. Number 21, how long does it take you to shower? Literally 10 minutes. My partner takes at least half an hour in the shower, and I honestly don't know how he can. I can shave my legs, shave everything else, and wash my hair in 10 minutes, because who needs longer than that? Number 22, how long do you take to get ready in the morning? Depends. If I'm having a shower, I've obviously got to dry my hair, so that takes like probably half an hour, but if I'm just getting up and going, it literally takes me 10 minutes, and because I work from home I don't even have to do my makeup. In fact, I rarely do my makeup on weekdays, so literally 10 minutes, easy. Number 23, ever been in a physical fight? Hell no, I'd be awful. Number 24 is turn on with a question mark, which seems quite broad for me, but I'm gonna say interesting people. I think that kind of fits quite nicely. I am drawn to interesting people and I really enjoy spending time with interesting people, and it does sort of invigorate me and turn me on in a good way, in a creative way. It gets my juices flowing. Number 25, turn off. Really loud, extroverted people who don't listen to other people. I've realised in the past year or so that I'm quite unforgiving of people who are very loud, and I need to work on that because everybody's different, you know, and they can't help being loud. But I just, in a room full of people, I will always go towards the ones who are sitting back and listening. I can't stand the people who just talk and even don't listen to other people when they put in just talk. It drives me batty. Number 26, the reason I joined YouTube. Same as everyone really. I started watching booktube and I thought it would be fun to do my own. I've always wanted sort of a platform to talk about books, and it's really nice now to have some bookish friends that I can talk about books with, because I don't have that in my real life. Number 27, fears. I'm not really that full of fear. I think I've got a real fear of social situations, which I'm trying to work on. But my main sort of overriding irrational fear, I suppose, is death. I can't even think about it. Like, it just baffles my mind in every sense of the word. Let's not go into that. Number 28, last thing that made you cry. I'm not gonna lie, I cry quite often. Though, that said, I can't actually remember the last thing that made me cry. Oh no, I tell a lie. It was last Tuesday. I was feeling really lonely and having a pretty shitty night, so yeah, I had a bit of a tear. I do cry quite easily. I cry, I think, when I'm shocked or angry. So if someone suddenly snaps at me, my first reaction is to cry, even if what they're snapping about isn't that serious. It just kind of shocks me, and that makes me cry, which makes me really angry, which then makes me cry more, because I'm not crying because I'm weak or pathetic. I'm crying because you made me surprised. Anyway, number 29, last time you said you loved someone. That was last night. It was me and my boyfriend's anniversary yesterday, so I told him I loved him. Number 30, meaning behind your YouTube name. Well, actually, I think my YouTube name is just Olivia Pope. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. I did, when I started, just make this account for watching YouTube, and then when I started making YouTube videos, I thought, well, everyone else has got cool names, I want one. So I tried to change it to reading like a mad woman, which I think kind of worked but kind of didn't. I think if you search Reading Like a Mad Woman you can find me, but I think my actual name is Olivia Pope because I couldn't work out how to change it properly. That said, I think more people now just have their names as their YouTube channels, and I kind of like it, so I'm happy with that. Number 31 is the last book you read, and that was Quiet by Susan Cain. I will talk about it in my wrap-up coming up soon. It was really, really good. Number 32, the book you're currently reading. I am currently reading a book called The Dark Beneath by Alan Gibbons. It's my YA pick for the month. It's a book that I really enjoyed when I was younger. I have to say I'm kind of struggling with it, but I haven't really had time to read it since I started sort of trying. It's all about kind of refugee crisis and things like that, but written in the 90s. It's quite interesting so far how relevant it is, and I think it's useful to address these things in YA books, but as I say, I'm not far enough into it yet to be enjoying it. Number 33, the last show you watched was Transparent. I am binging it this weekend because my parents have Amazon and I am only allowed to watch Amazon really when they're not here, or, well, they'd let me watch it at any time, but I don't think they'd enjoy Transparent, so I am binge watching it at the moment. I've watched 9 episodes so far and I've got 1 left to go. Not bad going for a weekend when I've been busy as well. Number 34, last person I talked to is my Richard because I live with him, so you know we have to talk to each other. Number 35 is the relationships between you and the last person you texted. Now I don't really use text because the signal in this house is awful. It's a really old house and it's got really thick stone walls, so you literally get none. My last person I messaged was my nan last week. She went for dinner and I messaged her to say thank you for a lovely time. So not bad actually. I thought it was going to be something stupid like AO or something, who keep messaging me even though I don't want them to. Number 36 is favourite food. I have to say chilli. Chilli's my go-to. I adore chilli. It's just comforting and yummy and nutritious. Vegetable chilli, obviously, beans and stuff. Number 37 is a place you want to visit. I want to visit a few places, but me and my boyfriend have been talking about where we would like to go on holiday since we got back from our last holiday, and we're kind of thinking Rome would be really lovely, although expensive, and I think it would be so busy that it would just be kind of stressful. So I'm also thinking actually Prague. I was doing a post for my job the other day and I had to look up things about Prague, and it's actually really, really stunning and lovely, so I think I'm quite interested in going there, and because it's that bit closer it will be cheaper and it will be quieter, and I just think it will suit us a bit better. Number 38, last place you were. Again, a bit broad. I mean, do you mean just now or like last place I visited? I'm going to go with the last place I visited because yesterday we went to Glastonbury for a sort of little anniversary, going out and having dinner and stuff. It's about 40 minutes drive from us, so it's not too far, and we didn't realise, but there was a lovely little market, kind of independent crafty market going on. Well, I say little, it was absolutely heaving. You couldn't even walk down the street and everyone was excited. There was mulled wine. It wasn't particularly a Christmas market, I wouldn't say, but obviously there was stuff that you could buy as Christmas presents, and it was really, really lovely. It was just so nice and it added a really special depth to the day, and we just had a lovely, lovely time. And also, did you know that Glastonbury has a whopping 4 bookshops? Because I do now. Number 39, do you have a crush? Yes, I have a crush on my Richard. Number 40, last time you kissed someone was last night. Again, Richard. Number 41, last time you were insulted. Oh, I'm not going to go into this, but it was on one of my videos and I was quite upset about it. Anyway, not dwelling on it. I don't often get insulted, to be fair. Yeah, I don't really see anyone who could insult me, let's be honest. Number 42, favourite flavour of sweet. I'm not overly a sweet person. I do like banana flavour things though. Number 43, what instruments do you play? None, very sadly. I tried to teach myself to play the guitar and I got quite good at it, but then I played for somebody and they made a stupid comment, and then I thought I was really bad, and it wasn't until I'd given up and forgotten everything I knew that my mum was like, no, you were really good. Yeah, it was too late then, I'd forgotten, but my partner is a massive guitar player, so I might learn again. 44, favourite piece of jewellery. I'm not really a jewellery person. I try to enjoy jewellery, but I just never remember to put it on. 45, last sport you played. I'm not even gonna justify that with an answer. Me and sport do not get along. Number 46, last song you sang. God knows. Oh, I was singing. one this morning. I can't remember what it's called. Number 47, favourite chat up line. I've never used a chat up line. I don't think they're appealing at all. Like, I'd rather just be myself and chat with someone and see if we get along, rather than using a cheesy chat up line, which is also quite obvious. I don't think it's helpful to enter a relationship letting each other know that you're attracted to each other. I think it helps to let things grow. Number 48, have you ever used it? No, because there isn't one. Number 49, last time you hung out with anyone? Yesterday, really, with Richard. Does that count? Because, you know, he kind of has to hang out with me. I don't often go out with friends, to be honest. I'm much of a homebody. Although now I work from home, I'm much more willing to go out. I think it kind of goes back to the fact that I get plenty of peace and sort of rejuvenation when I'm working, so I'm more willing to go out and socialise. But it's probably been about 3 weeks I went out for dinner with my friends. I do try and force myself to remember to do things with people, because if I don't make the actual effort, it doesn't happen. I'm not really sociable. I just prefer nights in with Richard and a book, to be honest. Number 50, who should answer these questions next? Well, I'm not going to tag anyone because I wasn't tagged, and I never tag people because I just think it's better to just say, if you want to do it, and let me know down below. I'd love to see your answers, and I will see you next time. Bye.